Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Massive Media welcomes you back to another mind-blowing analysis of Austrian President's speech at the United Nations General Assembly. Please listen to this very speech and listen attentively from Professor Dr. Alexander van der Bellen, Austrian President. Dr. van der Bellen is an economist, a politician, and elected under the Green Party of Austria. Many people may be confused about Austria and Australia. Austria is one of the European countries located at the center of Europe. It houses many international organizations like United Nations, International Atomic Energy, Austrian International Center, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. All these are located in Austria. It also known as Center of International Treaties, because in Austria many treaties were signed. Austria is one of the most secured and safest in the world. Top among them are Switzerland, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Austria, Norway, New Zealand. All these smaller countries are more safer than the big countries many Nigerians aspire to have as a big nation with big insecurity like Nigeria. Austria is one of the cleanest countries in the world based on Environmental Performance Index, EPI. According to EPI, Denmark, Malta, Luxembourg, Finland, Switzerland, Sweden, Austria, Iceland, and Norway are the cleanest cities in the world. Again, according to the Global Finance magazine, Austria is among the first 20 richest countries in the world with a population of 8.9 million. It is in this country that the President of Austria, Professor Dr. van der Bellen, gave a speech at the United Nations National Assembly. Power trumpeter of 2019, Professor van der Bellen's speech was a mind-blowing. His speech centered on Ambazonia and Biafra in the presence of both Nigerian President and Cameroonian President Paul Biya. All were in the National Assembly when this speech was delivered. First, United Nations was criticized. Reason is that it lacks the willpower to deal decisively on evils in the society like genocide, dictatorship, religious intolerance, killings, and anti-Semitism. However, he appreciated that without the existence of United Nations, the world would have been worse for it. Further described United Nations as an instrument in God's hands. But there was one observation he made, which is critical. That observation is that, I quote, UN decisions are controlled and dominated by Arabs and their Islamic religion, unquote. This is a topic for another day, but this quotation has much to do with the decisions of United Nations. On this circle, we have to finish what was written here and the reasons he gave. He says, in other words, UN is pro-Arab and pro-Islam, with formidable oppositions led by the United States. He continued, he says, the leadership of United Nations condones excesses of dictators, authoritarian rulers, wickedness perpetrated by religious bigots, amongst other crimes against humanity. First, he picked up Ambazonia as example. He recounted on the genocide going on in southern Cameroon against the people of Ambazonia, who are seeking freedom from oppressive Cameroonian government led by Paul Biya, the octogenarian leader. Houses are being razed down, women and girls raped, and people slaughtered like animals. UN overlooks human rights abuses there, unquote. Sometimes people believe that the world leaders are not observing what is going on around the world, especially amongst those countries that are seeking for separate self-determination from the neo-colonialists. The Austrian president is observing. Indeed, the Austrian government is observing the atrocities going on in southern Cameroon, just like other leaders. This vocal explanation before the National Assembly and before the President Dia was an indictment and a mind-blowing, and was supposed to have been a guideline to help the Ambazonian people to have their freedom without much destruction of lives and properties by the Cameroonian government. Then he spoke on Biafran genocide, which even the southeastern part of Nigeria are ignoring. And the United Nations of age-long history of ignoring crimes against humanity going on in Nigeria. It ranges from 1966 genocide to the present-day atrocities of Fulani jihadist hitmen, unlashing on people of Middle Belt and the southern part of the country. He continued on Biafran issue. He stated, millions of people were massacred before, during, and after Nigerian Civil War. The President continued. The United Nations kept practically quiet, as well as African Union. This is a mind-blowing that they expected the United Nations and the African Union to intervene and find lasting solution. But they kept quiet because the UN decisions are controlled and dominated by Arabs and their Islamic religion, unquote. He observed that sponsored terrorist gangs springing up all over the north, together with the existing ones, have killed hundreds of thousands of people, mostly non-Muslims. International bodies maintain nonchalant attitude, unquote. From the president's address, one would observe that Ambazonian issues and the Biafran issues are being discussed in the United Nations by some leaders who understood the problems, and those countries that have undergone the subjugations from countries like the United Kingdom, France, United States of America, and Russia. They are very much aware of the suffrage and the need to have independent countries from these African neocolonialists and their killing agents. I would thank the Austrian president, but unfortunately, there is no follow-up by those who are affected because of the dominance of the Arabs and the Islamic group at the United Nations. They do not allow such programs or projects to move forward because they are working together with their Islamic brothers and the presidents in both Nigeria and Cameroon. Austria is not new to Biafran issues, despite every effort made by British government under the leadership of Harold Smith, reminding Austria of its neutrality, not to send food and relief materials to starving Biafran children. This was a sabotage from the British government to ensure that no food was sent to Biafran children, Biafran citizens. But, however, this dilemma, this principle of neutrality posed on Caritas was defied, and in its magnanimity sent food and medical materials to the starving children.
What is your take as regards Alexander Vadavelin, openly supporting Biafra and Ambazonians? What is your take as regards?
God bless you. I remember humble said the Biafran evangelist who always speak the truth and nothing but the truth and ready to end by it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night wherever you are watching us from. May God bless you. May the Lord be with you. Now listen and listen good. Alexander Van der Bellen supporting the Biafra today, and in his speech he made mention of the Ambazonia. He said reasons, he pointed out to reasons. Number one, you know, we have already been a kind of shouting of a genocide. Are you getting me? That have been committed in Igbo land, committed in 1967, and the genocide that took place in the northern the Cameroon, either northern or southern Cameroon, that are the Ambazonia today. You know, he was speaking and he said categorically that it is the high time that the UN should come up and do the needful. They should stop, you know, a kind of dialoguing with the thing that is not needful or necessary, or the thing that doesn't work it. Because in his point, he made the point that he's not surprised why UN have not yet, you know, speak or do anything or act. Are you getting it? Based on the agitation and despite the genocide that these people has committed against the indigenous people of Biafra and Ambazonia too. Then he now said the reason is he points some things which I pick as point. He said most of the UN, most of under their law, we are influenced by the Islamic and there's a way he said Islamic and religious or whatsoever. They are the one that dominated the UN leadership. He said because of that, that's why you see all these things happening and UN still remain silent up to this very day. And now he went ahead, he pointed again that in then Nigeria, he banned his people, citizens, not to come to Nigeria. Yes, if you were the one, you will do the same. You know, being the president is like, you understand that Nigeria, you understand that you are a father. Once you are a president of a country, you are more or less standing as a father of that because you are counted as #1 citizen of the country. And now, for the safety of his people, you know, Nigeria is already known, in case you don't know, has already been known as a terrorist nation, country. That is how they regard Nigeria. As I speak to you, they regard this country as a terrorist nation. And people like them or that Australia, that's why somebody like Alexandra Van Bellen is declaring it openly, telling his people, never put your hand, never try to a kind of look into the country called Nigeria, because one, there is no safety, insecurity, you will be kidnapped, you will be robbed, you can even get killed. Are you getting it? And remember, even if I thought they come to fight, you have been killed, you have been killed, you have done that, you have died. You understand? So to avoid the risk of life, please stay away from Nigeria. Are you getting? That's the point he's making. And let me tell you this, we, the Nigerians, we are the one to lose. They have nothing to lose. Because, let me tell you, somebody made a point, a statement which I picked. Baba, as I am now, I am the one that is looking for Australia. Australians are not looking for me. Australians are not standing to benefit anything from me, but I'm the one seeking to benefit from them. You that is in this country called Nigeria, look at you. In our country, Nigeria, in this our country called Nigeria, you see, you will discover that many people here are busy. If you give them opportunity now, if Australia should make any eventuality through border open, people are ready to sell their last palm and boxers in order to enter there. Nigerians, they are ready to sell everything that they have to make sure they enter Australia. But you understand, and you cannot see an Australia do such a thing to enter Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria. See, the other day in the church, somebody getting visa to South Africa, he come to handle microphone in the church. How many South African citizens have handled microphone in South Africa, sharing testimony of getting Nigerian visa? So that, in other words, we the Nigerians are the one to lose. If they tell their citizen not to come, their citizen has nothing to lose here. And then, you know, I've said this thing before. Currently now, Norway doesn't have embassy again in Nigeria. Likewise, Finland. But if actually they are benefiting from this country as per se, do you think that they will withdraw their embassy? No, they can never take away their embassy or move their embassy out of this place, because they know that if they should move it, there is something that they will lose. But because they see that in Nigeria, one, no security, your constitutional right is not being respected, life is not valid. Excuse me, no good life, no good living. The Nigerians that are in Nigeria are looking for survival elsewhere. Instead of them, despite all God has blessed Nigeria with, Nigerians supposed to remain in their country, but they are now jackpying. Even funny enough, to the point that Nigerians are, you know, the most painful part of it is that the Nigerians are leaving Nigeria, moving to the countries that is fighting war, Ukraine. And Ukraine that is fighting war are the ones sending grain, bread to Nigeria. They have been in war, getting to either 2 to 3 years now. They are the ones that send bread to Nigeria. Haba. Is that the country? If you happen to be the president of Australia, will you encourage your citizen to come to a country like our country, Nigeria? You will not do that. You understand? So the man have checked everything and see it that the marginalization is much, and it doesn't supposed to be. Humiliation is much. It doesn't supposed to be. Intimidation is much. It doesn't supposed to be. The oppression is much. It doesn't supposed to be. The letdown is much. It doesn't supposed to be. The negligence is much. It doesn't supposed to be. You understand? Igbo man, a Biafran man will commit the same thing that a Fulani or a Yoruba man commit. They will go free, but Biafran man will pay for it. In the same country. Out of that same thing I said, called marginalization, intimidation, humiliation, and oppression. You understand? So, and this set of people, the Biafrans, have decided, okay, let us go. Since we are not being recognized, then let us go. Then yet, you don't want them to go. So what the man is saying by supporting Biafra, I am happy. And I believe it's a kind of a good omen and a development. You understand? And it's a plus to what we are crying for. It's an addition. It means that if there is any eventuality, we will definitely have support of some Europeans. Yes, European support.
Well, for what we can see, we know that Australia is one of the safest countries in the world.
When you talk of safety, cleanliness, and in the world. All over, let me tell you this: Australia is a place in Europe whereby you see people like America.
I think Australia is in far place.
Asia. It's far place. But you see people like America. You see people like England. You see people like what is it called? France and co. They have this bilateral security distance with them. You get it? They have it with them. Remember, let me tell you, that is the country I told you. I don't know if you follow my interview very well. Either last month, I told you, I made mention of this, that England travel, the British went there and they returned them back. Yes, this man returned them back. Because the way they are doing, let me tell you, There is insecurity in all these big people, boys. So per se, you may see like as a man mention of Nigeria, you know, you see people big boss like England, you see people like France, all these Europeans. There is a serious crisis. Was it not a few days ago that Macron in France, election that they say Macron is facing serious challenge now, and Macron is accusing this American Musk, what is it, Elon Musk for interfering in their election. You understand? So you look into it, you see that there's a series and a serious crisis inside the big boys, the big so-called big countries. You understand? So the big countries are not having it so easy. They are having their own serious problem. So, and it's not safe. So, and that's why him now look at it. Even them, they are small country, Austria, say small Finland, and other, you know, or you see them, they are small, but they are the most organized countries in the world currently as I speak to you. And the most cleanest country and safest country in the world as I talk to you now. You understand? So I am happy for Alexander Van Bellen for his full support and his hands, which he stressed in welcoming the ideal of Biafra. And God will bless him.
But we saw that we saw that the Nigerian government now, just because of the Australian government advised or warned their citizens of visiting Nigeria through their foreign ministry.
Not to visit Nigeria.
Yes, and we've seen in Atack now in response. We've seen the Nigerian foreign ministry also tell Nigerians not to visit Australia because of this hate speech that the Australian, advising their citizens not to visit Nigeria. Do you not think that time the Nigerian government now sit and tell themselves the truth as regards the insecurity in Nigeria?
Now, listen and listen good. Nigerian Foreign Affairs Minister warning Nigerians not to go to Australia. Excuse me, I want to ask, who have you ever seen somebody that they give sugar and they spit it out? I'm asking. Have you ever? Who? Excuse me, you are telling me not to go to Australia. If I have opportunity, Baba, I go fly. If I can convert myself to a winch now to fly from here, I will do it and leave this country. You say you are telling us not to go. Why won't we go? I am going, Baba. I will go. Even as I'm talking to you. If I have opportunity to jackpot from Nigeria to Australia, I will go. To Austria, I will go. To Finland, I will go. To Iceland, I will go. What is in Nigeria? Look at me now, hunger, everything. Starving, everything, intimidation, humiliation. I cannot even earn myself. I can't pay rent. Children go to school. At least feel and be happy as a citizen of Nigeria. How many times have you seen no light, no electricity, no infrastructure, no... Excuse me, why are you telling me Nigerians will not go to us? Baba, they go. Foreign minister, they go. Me, if I see opportunity to go to that place, I will go. I want to ask you a question again. Are you trying to tell me that the people that is in hellfire, if they see opportunity to go heaven, so they no go come up for hellfire?
Is Nigeria hellfire?
I ask you a question.
Why not?
The country the Nigeria we are in now, what we are passing through, my brother, if you survive in Nigeria, there is every tendency of you surviving in hellfire. There is no difference between what you are seeing in Nigeria and what you are going to see in hellfire. So it is better here you go, you jackpot That place is far, far better, because those that have left this country and returned back, if not that, if except something they follow them on, and then they follow their self. You understand? These are the people that will go there and come back empty hand. But those that are traveled, you understand, that are there, Baba, today, do you know how much is $1? Ordinary, as we hold 100 naira. How much are you buying a bottle of water? I bought it. That is the one I just finished drinking. 200 naira. Do you know that if you hold 200, that 200, do you know how much the worth of it in Nigerian currency? Do you know the worth? Ordinary $100 is 100 and something thousand naira. $100. And if you now hold 100 euro, that is almost 200,000. You hold 100 euro now, you are close to 200K. Just 100 that you can even bring out Nigeria 100 naira and bring out. Then you are telling me that 100 euro or 200 euro. Now I see opportunity to have them plenty in my pocket. You say I should not go. Whereby if I hold like 1,000 euro now, then I save to the point now I have like 300. All the years I spent, maybe I spent like 5 years there. I hold like 300,000 euro. Do you know how much it is in Nigeria? I will come here and I will gas very well. I will establish my plenty. Then I want you to take 300,000 Nigerian money. You not even reach to buy tickets. Is that what you want to compare? He said I should not go. Now children, they tell that one. Okay, see, common Ghana here. Common Ghana here. Do you know how much is 10,000 cedis? 10,000. I'm not saying million. No. I'm not calling million. I'm calling thousand. It's like when you hold 10,000 naira here, which you can dash somebody. Do you know that if you hold it in Ghana money, 10,000 cedis, you are touching about almost 2 million naira. That is to tell you the level. So why are you telling me that I should not travel to Nigerians should not go? Why won't I go? What is the criteria for me not to go? You don't have it. The foreign minister doesn't have it.
Nigeria will be great again.
Until you become great.
Now that's what Obasanjo said. He said Nigeria will be great again.
Obasanjo said Nigeria will be
Tinubu said the youth should be patient. She said it. She said it herself.
Excuse me, there is something I want you to understand. Ego Better is a song that I've been playing before I was born. That Ego Better, I believe that Ego Better. Look at me. How old did you think I am? When we read better?
25. You still have time left.
What?
You are 25.
I am approximately 50, getting to 50. You understand? So I'm no longer a boy of 30. Not early 47. I don't pass 40. Now 50 now they pursue. It go better. When we read better.